This week in Women in Sports, you could call them the ultimate fangirl, how two entrepreneurs are keeping sports in style. Then a woman's impressive ride to raise awareness, her bike ride across the U.S. Plus, the voting period for the WNBA All-Star game is almost over. Everything you need to know if you haven't submitted a vote yet.
WCCO's Women in Sports, sponsored by Franson Bank and Trust.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Marielle Mohs, and here at WCCO, we are celebrating the highlights of female athletes in this new digital segment called Women in Sports. We'll share news stories with you every week right here as we do our part to give these athletes the recognition they deserve. First up, for a second straight year, the 11-1 Minnesota Lynx will play for the WNBA's Commissioner's Cup. The Lynx won the in-season tournament last year, and this year, lots of star power as the Lynx will take on the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark. The other Lynx headline, early WNBA MVP favorite Napheesa Collier left last night's game against the Las Vegas Aces with a back injury. As for the Commissioner's Cup, it'll be played July 1st at Target Center. Tickets go on sale Tuesday, June 24th at noon. Well, you may have heard about the dramatic clash between the Indiana Fever and the Connecticut Sun. 3 players were ejected during the game earlier this week. The main talking point came in the third quarter when Sun guard J.C. Sheldon jabbed Fever superstar Caitlin Clark in the eye while she was defending her. Clark then turned around and was bumped again by Sheldon before pushing her away. Connecticut's Marina Maybury then came into the scuffle and bumped Clark to the ground. Now ESPN is reporting no players will face suspensions. The Fever won that game 88-71 to head to the final. And last weekend, the Lynx had one of their greats on hand. Minnesota retired the number of Seimone Augustus, recently entered the Basketball Hall of Fame. She won 4 WNBA championships as a member of the Lynx and is a 3-time gold medalist with Team USA.
Look how my man's getting to the rack. Look how my man's getting to the rack. He's using his dribbles wisely.
The day before the celebration, some local kids got to go one-on-one with the Hall of Famer in the Twin Cities. As part of the celebratory weekend, Augustus held her youth basketball clinic in Minneapolis. Well, Chicago Sky's Angel Reese is now the second youngest player to record a triple-double in the W's history. Last weekend, the 23-year-old recorded 11 points, 11 assists, and 13 rebounds. It was during the Sky's 78-66 win over the Connecticut Sun. Caitlin Clark is the youngest to record a triple-double. She did it while she was just 22 in her rookie season. Now we're just about 1 week away from the voting period to close for the WNBA All-Star game. Fans have through June 28th to submit their vote, and you're able to submit 1 ballot per day through the WNBA app or website, and it includes 6 front court players and 4 guards. There is only 1 more double vote day left, and that will be June 27th. Players with the best score will be named starters, and the 2 players with the highest votes will be named captains and pick their teams from the pool of players. The All-Star game will be held July 19th at the home of the Indiana Fever in Indianapolis. The Gopher women's basketball team will have their leader for a while. Head coach Dawn Plitzuweit signed a contract extension to remain at the University of Minnesota through 2031. Of course, Coach P was hired a couple years ago and will be embarking on her third season at the helm this fall. Under her, the Gophers have a 45-27 record, and they just won the WBIT tournament this past spring and are still looking for their first NCAA tournament appearance. Well, professional and collegiate women's sports are seeing attendance records broken all across the country. But as the fan base increases, so does the demand for the right apparel. Let me introduce you to 2 women making sports a fashion statement.
It was the classic, like, you see a problem and you want to solve it.
And it was around the time of the Minneapolis Miracle.
Drop, steps up in the pocket.
A time Vikings fans will never forget. The purple and gold narrowly punched their ticket to the NFC Championship game, and best friends Callie Inman and Jamie Fisher planned to go.
It's a Minneapolis Miracle!
And we were shopping to try to find something to wear, and we couldn't find anything we liked. And so Fangirl was kind of born out of that.
Fangirl is a sportswear brand with a trendy take, muted colors, loose fits, and a vintage feel of Minnesota teams.
Something that you can wear out to a game, also wear to brunch with friends or to the gym. And it's not that bright, bold, team color that is like just for game day.
It began as a small Etsy business out of their own homes, but quickly grew overnight.
we woke up one morning and we had 200 orders, and we were like, I think we need to figure out a new way.
Since then, Callie and Jamie have grown into a warehouse, working with a team of designers and licensing partnerships. They first licensed with the Gophers, followed by 14 other universities across the Midwest and Big Ten. In the last 2 years, they've partnered with the Timberwolves and Lynx.
It's insane. I mean, especially to walk up to the store and see people shopping it without any prompting on our end and just watch people enjoy.
Callie and Jamie met in the softball dugout in 2nd grade, and still today they're working as teammates to keep sports in style.
We've heard many a times, never go into business with your best friend, and so we're pretty proud to be a success story.
Well, the Minnesota Frost lost another player. Disappointing to hear this one. Liz Schepers, a Minnesota native who came up big in the postseason with the championship overtime goal. Yeah, she's heading to Boston. She signed a 2-year deal with the Fleet. Mark your calendars. We now know the schedule for the women's hockey tournament at the 2026 Winter Olympics. These are the images from last Winter Games in Beijing. Competition in Italy starts February 5th. 2 of the opening games include the U.S. against Czechia and Canada versus Finland. The U.S. and Canada will renew their rivalry in the preliminary round on February 10th, and the gold medal game is set for Feb 19th. Well, the famed Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders are getting a serious pay raise during the 2nd season of the Netflix series America's Sweethearts, Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders. One of the cheerleaders says they're getting a 400% boost in pay. The cheerleaders have been pushing for pay increases for decades. In fact, back in 2019, the Cowboys settled a lawsuit that led the squad to doubling pay for each game appearance. Super exciting to see that. The KPMG Women's PGA Championship is also raising its prize money. The major tournament is now matching last month's U.S. Women's Open for the biggest purse of the season at $12 million. That's up $10.4 million last year. This means the winner of this week's tournament in Texas will pocket $1.8 million. Well, we first met Minneapolis grandmother Donna Minter back in April when she started a cross-country bike ride. Thousands of miles later, she crossed that finish line. Adam Del Rosso explains why she hopes the trip has an impact on everyone.
This really is a dream come true. I've been dreaming about this for almost 50 years.
64 days and 3,230 miles later, Donna Minter and her biking friend Becky made it to St. Augustine, Florida, completing their cross-country adventure after starting in San Diego on April 1st.
I did shed some tears, but and every now and then I still do, like, this really happened. It met and went beyond my expectations.
Along the way, making friends and encountering all kinds of weather.
We had a lot of hot weather, and when I talked, the few people that would talk to me about climate along the way were like, oh yeah, this is not the way it's supposed to be here.
Climate change awareness was one of Donna's driving forces. So were her grandkids.
I found out right before I left that I'm going to have a 4th grandchild in October. And it is so meaningful to me that I get to be this little tiny grain of salt and do something meaningful for generations to come. And that includes my grandkids.
Feeling even stronger now than she did before she started, Donna hopes this inspires other grandparents, no matter the age or goal.
Just get out, whether you have a bike or you walk around the neighborhood, just get out and move a little bit at a time and experience our beautiful earth around us.
Adam Del Rosso.
Remember, get outside with Grammy.
WCCO News.
Way to go, Donna. I will get outside today. You can find a link on her Facebook page to keep up with her. Just search Grammy Ride. Well, the running community has been grieving following the death of a marathon pioneer. According to an obituary for a funeral home on Long Island, New York, Nina Kuscsik died of respiratory failure after a long battle with Alzheimer's disease at the age of 86. Kuscsik won the Boston Marathon the first year women were officially allowed to enter the race. She also ran Boston Marathon 4 times before women were officially welcomed. In 1970, Kuscsik was the first woman to enter the New York race, and she was inducted into the Long Distance Running Hall of Fame in 1999. Thanks for all the barriers you broke, Nina. Thanks for watching this week's Women in Sports. We'll be back with more great stories next week. I'm Marielle Mohs.